Hey, beautiful people. I'm Milah.
Hey y'all, I'm Monika.
And thanks for joining us. How are you doing?
I am well.
Well, that's really, I'm like, okay. Well, that's what we like to hear. Welcome in, people who are joining us, family, friends,
Hey
and
now.
everyone in between. Yes, we are excited about this episode, of course, like always. Uh, we will be focusing on love, relationships. Those are some of our most interesting conversations and
Mm-hmm.
funnest episodes, in my opinion.
Yep.
So, so
The
it is
day, the
Black.
day after the big V Day.
Yeah, I was gonna say it is Black Love Deluxe, as we like to call it around here, or just love in general. So we are excited about that. But you know how we like to get the party started with a simple question to my lovely co-host, Monika. How's your week been?
My week it's been progressing. Yes.
Okay. Oh,
It's been progressing. I got a few walks in on the dry days because I don't like walking in the rain because our rain is cold up here. I know I can use an umbrella, but I ain't trying to do all that. So walk by the water, get my
I like
mind
that.
clear. And it I don't know what happened yesterday. A little snow blizzard for about 5 minutes happened, and I was like, oh, we don't need that. We're almost out of February.
Yeah, we said we rebuke that. We know that spring is on its way. I love that you said you were walking. You don't like walking in the rain. And then that old school song came into my head. I saw you walking in
And
the
then
rain. Hmm.
I mean, there probably might have been some of that yesterday, but it wasn't me.
Okay. All right. I like that. Did you have a good Valentine's Day then overall?
It's a day, right?
It is. Amen. It
I
is a
mean,
day.
it's a day. Cash always helps. I got some cash.
All right. Well, girl. Okay. What did Wu-Tang Clan say, girl? Cash rules everything around me. Cream get the money. A
Dollar
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 bill.
bill, y'all. So okay, so that means you had a very blessed and
Cash and
favored.
quality time. you
Okay,
know
well those are blessings on blessings. I like it. I'm right now looking at my blessing. I got I always love flowers, so a little friend gave me some yellow roses. The yellow is for
Oh,
loyalty and friendship.
friendship. That's
Uh-huh.
sweet.
And so I was so pleasantly surprised. So that was nice. I had a good day, but I am still trying to figure out the rest of your, how you doing? How was the rest of your week?
That's yeah. I just been trying to. I'm listening to my body. Hey, if I'm working on something and my body say I'm tired, then it's tired. I'm about to rest.
Hmm.
I'm in a different season of my life.
Oh, okay. Oh, you enjoying Aunties? This is winter, but that's all right. You resting up because I'm sure you realize that spring. Oh, it's knocking. It's near almost. So I'm excited about that.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's about it.
I
I'm
mean,
still in my hermit mode.
I like to say hibernation, and I like that too. I'd like to be like, where in the world is Carmen San Diego? That's the vibes Mila's giving right now. Okay. So okay, well, honey, I'm here for everything that you said. My week has been, it's been a week. It's love. I had a good time reminiscing and remembering and celebrating, the love that I was blessed with,
Mhm.
and just really trying to focus on the positivity of that and not get caught up in foolishness.
Right.
And fortunately for me, I got some good people in my life, and one of my girls sent me a hot mess rabbit hole to fall down in during Valentine's Day. And then it got you and I, we were already discussing, dating and
Oh, you
questions
talking
and
about that
comments.
TikTok? The one
Girl,
you sent me part one?
girl, part one of 17, and it's not done yet. That's all I got.
17? She needs to stop. She already said she already said Lifetime, and who else hit her up?
Oh,
Shoot,
Netflix or something. But wait, wait, you're talking
Tyler
about that
Perry, somebody.
when she started it, and we will of course tell you a little bit more about that, but when she started it, she said, oh, I don't even like to do long TikToks, so I'm going to try to do everything I can in like one or two, because I always hate the ones that are like part 5 and 6. Girl,
No,
part
that's how she tried to reel
17,
you in.
part 17. Wait, the comments though, I'm living for comments everywhere, but it was by a young woman on TikTok. Back. So obviously, we are now quickly approaching the relationship and dating segment. So, if you have young ones around, the conversation might get spicy. I'd say put on your earbuds or be prepared to have a good time. Get you something to
Mm-hmm.
drink, and let's get to talking, because it's wild out here in these dating and relationship streets, and it's also Black History Month, so we're gonna have fun here.
Some tea, some hot cocoa,
Something
some libation.
libation. Yeah, exactly. I don't care if it's a hot toddy, whatever it is, because we are no longer in, dry January for the people who participated in that and all that. So we are ready. So, Monica, I did send you a link to something that was sent to me from a TikToker named Risa Tisa.
Mm-hmm.
And it was supposed to be a short series of explanations on her experience marrying a pathological liar, is how she expressed it. Now, she initially told us things like, I don't want to do a long series, 2 or 3 episodes.
Girl, because people got short attention spans, and I was like, girlfriend, this is a long 2 minutes.
Honey, she 17. So I went down the rabbit hole. So 17 episodes in the series
You
later,
listened to 17 episodes?
and we are not even, girl, we haven't even cracked the code. Okay. She's just now getting engaged and on the precipice of getting married to this man. And the relationship was only from during the pandemic. So it was a pandemic relationship. Like she met him like 2 weeks before the pandemic officially started in 2020, and they were divorced by June-ish, summerish of 2021.
Yeah, I thought she
So
said August.
yes, yes. So we're
Mhm.
we're in in the story. We're in about December of 2020. Now, mind you, I'm not sure. He is doing some crazy things, and there are some red flags. What did she call them, Monica? With the United Nations of red flags?
United Nations of red flags. I had to put that one in quotes and put it in my notes. I was like, girl. Did she start this series yesterday?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, she knows what she's doing, girl.
For Valentine's Day, and then today is supposedly her birthday. So shout out to.
She know what she's doing. She probably already got some,
Well, girl, the story's
some
outlandish.
sponsorships.
Yeah, I was gonna say the story's outlandish. I could definitely see, see a lot of people in falling kind of quickly in love with a chivalrous act. Like someone who comes through. But I
Of
was having
course.
having the conversation with one of my girls, and she was like, absolutely not. She was like, no, I'm not getting sprung off of a man doing what a man's supposed to do. I was like, ooh,
No, but
she's.
where was
Mm.
Google? Where was Google? Like she was explaining like so it just I didn't really it made sense and I didn't really girl, you didn't really Google?
I just want to know where her village was, where her tribe was. Really, where were her girls at? I mean, because I know. That was a big blow into the phone.
Oh, sorry.
So, okay,
Trying to catch my breath. I've been having some palpitations over here. I'm sorry.
okay, so okay, okay. But yeah, I wondered where her village was, where her girls were. She
Where my
seemed to
girls
move
at?
this man in relatively fast. She mentioned within 2 weeks or within a month, because they decided to quarantine together.
No, hell no.
And girl, it just got crazy. I mean, since you didn't listen to all 17 of the episodes
The
like
first
me,
one was enough for me. I had a lot of questions after that, but like you said, she moved him in after what?
2 weeks basically, yeah. About two strong weeks of knowing him.
Girl, it takes the government a whole year to do a background investigation on you, and that's while you working with them.
Well, honey, this person was obviously not listening to Auntie Monica's advice because you surely tell the people to do your research. You say search, search, search.
Courts.wa.gov.
Girl, you be giving that out, okay? So if someone doesn't have a tribe, you don't have an auntie or a sister friend, you're listening to us and we
Or
telling you
or a,
straight
or
up
a nephew, a uncle, a brother.
something. There were some things that were definitely off, but then there were some things that confused me because part of the series, the 17 episodes, I did listen to with someone else, and they definitely had comments, and everyone is commenting. But for me, her United Nations of red flags, as she put it, for all of the things that she should have been aware of. I can see how it starts off very romantically. And if
Hmm.
you're someone who is believing in fairy tales and
Bombs
praying
over
for a fairy tale,
Baghdad. Sorry, love bombs.
yeah, yeah, exactly. If you, because that's what was happening. Was the sister not getting love bombed? I mean, it
She
was
was,
almost.
but I'm not moving nobody into my place after 2 weeks.
Well, see, remember her tire blew on the way to their first date at the Cheesecake Factory?
One sign.
But then he came and found her and changed her tire and then took her and bought a new one and kind of saved the day in a very, chivalrous type way, which I was like, okay, I can see people getting caught
Yeah,
up in
that
that.
that don't constitute you being on a lease.
That girl, I'm gonna tell. No, no, she didn't know. She moved him into her 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath townhouse in Atlanta. Well, outside of Atlanta, she moved him
No,
in
no,
with her.
no,
But
no,
I
no.
didn't say anything about him being on the lease. That's
No,
not what
no, no,
sister talked
no,
about.
no.
But it's yeah, 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 girl. It's yeah, yeah, yeah. So sis moved this man in.
She said no, 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 no.
And in a matter, so from March to December, so many things happen. I mean, baby girl gets pregnant, miscarries, have to have a DNC. She thinks he's a vice president for some
Oh, you know what? We forgot to add. There's a trigger warning, y'all. So, okay, go ahead.
girl. Uh, okay, she thinks she is engaged to and going to marry a VP of some condiment company out there. She It's just a bunch. It is wild. But there were some things that like didn't make sense to me, and I was like, what is? I said, obviously, Auntie Mila still needs to do some work because she said the man was paying her bills, and she kept it real. That's how I could get caught up in this because there
Right.
was a little bit of like a honesty because she said, I'm gonna tell the truth even if it makes me look bad. And so she would say something like, I was living kind of paycheck to paycheck, like a lot of people, heck.
Okay.
And she said this man came in and he started paying her rent and her utilities, and that freed her up to only have to be concerned with paying her cell phone bill, her car payment, and her car insurance. And I said,
So that
okay.
was his idea, though. That she didn't initiate that idea. She told him all her issues, and he was like, "Well, I got a deal for you today. Like the price is right."
Yes, she said she made the mistakes because she said he was living in a studio type situation. But once he came to her home and saw it, he was like, she felt this is how she was feeling that, oh, I got a good one. I need to stay. I need to stay, whatever,
He
whatever.
came to her house, and he was like, "In New York and in Atlanta."
Girl, honey, when she wait, this is the part that made me say, what? When she said for her townhouse. And she said it wasn't the sketchiest neighborhood, but it wasn't obviously like you're living in, I think like Buckhead, I think might be a good part of Atlanta. I don't know. But she said her for all of that, it was like under $1,000 at the start of the pandemic. So I was like, oh girl, that was girl. Girl,
Girl.
that's what I said too. I said, wait, you said 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath townhouse.
I mean, if you needed
Hmm.
help, you could have extended it to one of your girlfriends, or you could have got a room, or you could have Airbnb.
Be girl, where my girl? Well, maybe not girl. Hold on, where my girls at? Okay, from the
Well,
front to
not
back.
yeah, not
And when you say
Airbnb, but
Airbnb, girl, you sent
I'm
me.
sorry.
Okay, we're gonna get to that, Monika. You jumping,
Okay.
you jumping, you jumping. Needless to say, there were a lot of warning signs. Some of the craziest things that have happened so far in this series, though, is that the man pretends to talk to people every day and isn't talking to no family. He pretends to talk to his brother in front of her every morning for like 45 minutes or every day for 45 minutes and isn't talking to anybody.
That's
He,
psychosis or schizophrenia.
yeah, he's making up conversations like, yeah, what y'all doing?
Yeah,
Mm.
that's
Yeah, no,
schizophrenia.
not hadn't talked to his brother in like 5 years at that point.
Was he receiving disability?
Girl, no. He said he was a VP of this company, and in fact, he was a temporary. And this isn't a shade to the job because, honey, that's not what
No,
it's
yeah, I
about.
saw her
Yeah,
point on there.
but
She was
yeah,
like, "It's not
but
about a job. He had
he
a
was a
job
temporary.
if you want to be."
He was temporary though, girl.
It
He
was
was a
about the it was
temporary forklift driver.
and so sidebar. This is my issue with people. Disclosure.
Mm.
What he probably he didn't think he was gonna get as far with her if he didn't disclose that he had a temporary position as a forklift driver.
Girl, this man was so crazy. This is the kind of stuff she said she was experiencing with him, Monika. She said he was carrying around a letter from Chase with a mortgage like guarantee, like, oh, we can pay this amount of money if you want to, like if you want a mortgage, pre-qualifying, I'm sorry. So back to Risa Tisa. She said this man would be carrying around this pre-qualification, like this is how much you can get a mortgage for with Chase, and I guess it was for $700,000. He had her looking for homes every weekend. He was signing contracts to get homes. Okay, they were test driving vehicles. I mean, she said she wanted a Kia Telluride, and this brother had her test driving BMWs and Audis, knowing that she ended up with neither. So it was just a lot.
There's a difference when when you're dreaming and manifesting and going out to like view homes, so you don't have no pre-approved
Mhm.
loan. You know what I'm saying? You just you got to get around that stuff and feel it for yourself, feel the vibes. And you same thing with test driving the cars, but no, he wasn't doing that because he was acting like he could actually
Afford it.
facilitate this purchase.
Hmm. In his
uh
offshore bank accounts, because he was letting her know it was an offshore bank account. At some point,
don't
I
nobody
say,
have offshore bank accounts? Because after that big old, what was his name, the guy that supposedly hung himself, what was his name?
oh, Jeffrey Epstein.
Af- was oh no, what was the other guy that had the not the pyramid scheme,
Oh, are you talking about
the
like,
Wall Street, the Wolf on Wall Street? It was several years ago.
oh, I know who you're talking about.
I can't remember the name, but
Yeah, no, girl. People have offshore, but their money wasn't. So she let herself get caught up in believing the hype, and that's the question. Okay, so we told everybody the backstory. It is wild. It is a wild series.
I'm
I can't
like,
wait to
Tyler
find
Perry
out.
he need to be a screenwriter. Then he
That's
can
that's what
he
she
can
said.
he needs to be like, he has a wild imagination. This is a good story. This is it's good. It's good material. It is
Girl,
that.
it is. I mean, it gets crazy. I mean, because like I said, between the miscarriages, I mean, he does things like he let her pick out the ring she wanted, and then he did buy her that ring and gave it to her. But she said he didn't really get on a knee, or they were at a restaurant. He just slid the box to her and was like, "Open it. Guess we're getting married." That's what I want to say. But she admits she was kind of desperate. So I want to encourage everyone. I know everyone says the idea of marriage is a lot of people's what they thought they wanted, but don't have that pick me spirit because it's often going to lead you to get caught up. Please
It'll
know
leave you
your
to get caught
value and your
up. I
worth.
mean, we all got stories. I ain't gonna lie. I got a few stories. Am I gonna let
I
y'all know
want
on
to
here?
say
Hell no. But
she
I'll
probably
let.
let you know on Patreon. I think she
Yeah.
charged you for a story. Because it should be a grip yourself.
um.
I was like, I hope you're not throwing stones at this sister,
No,
sister.
I'm not throwing stones at this. Is I'm just no. I'm just letting
Mhm,
her know. Like we've all lost our mind. Ain't
mhm,
nobody once, if not once. You know what I'm saying?
mhm. Oh yeah, girl, I
We
got
like
some funny
Notorious
tales.
B.I.G. We got a story to tell. Ding dong dong,
Yeah.
ding ding dong.
Yeah, I was like, honey, I think about some of my crazy love stories, and I'm like, when I was younger, and I just said, thank you, Lord, for being a complete fence around me. Thank you for the prayers of my mother and my ancestors. That's all I have to say about.
Or yeah, just thank you for
Mm.
letting certain things happen when I didn't think that that's what I wanted. But oh, Jesus,
And everyone was saying how she was so blessed to have miscarriage. They were like, sorry that you didn't have your baby, but looking back,
it's a
sis, you do
blessing in
see how
disguise.
that was a real blessing because you didn't know that man. You didn't know. I mean, he had step kids that he pretended to talk to every day. Oh my, he said he
Girl, because
played
he could
arena
have
football.
he
Oh
could
my
have tried to
goodness.
get custody and then make her pay child support.
Girl, it was so crazy. So kind of keeping that theme in mind, Monica, what is the craziest thing that you've heard someone kind of go along with in a relationship? Since we're talking about, anti because this story was very anti Valentine's Day. People were like, "Oh, I love it that you're giving us this story on Valentine's Day because this is f love if I've ever seen something like that." So, do you have a wild story to tell, or a wild something that you've heard, or because it could be from online. We've been seeing a lot of crazy stuff on the internet these days too.
I mean, there is crazy stuff on the internet. Yeah, I heard a story several years ago. I feel like I'm about to be like fried green tomatoes when the lady was telling the story. Um, if y'all get that, hint hint. Um, yeah, this girl had got with this dude. This was before the song Beyonce had with Jay-Z on the run.
Okay.
um, old dude violated his probation, and she was on the run with him at one of them. What are those? Hotels, not hotels, but
Motels, like,
home suite, like home. What is it? Where they have everything people stay for
oh,
like a
like
week.
extended stay, extended stay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they were on the run like Bonnie and Clyde, but playing house at an extended stay.
Child.
What you won't do for love. Well, I mean, okay,
Not that
okay.
she had anything to do with him, but she's with him, so that could be
Accessory, that's you too.
accessory because you're hiding somebody.
Accomplice. I don't know
Yeah,
anything. It's too
yeah,
much. It's me getting caught up with you. And
exactly.
but that's all
On
right, cause
some not state charges, on some federal charges,
oh, some real charges.
some real charges.
Oh, sorry, girl. You made me snort on that one. That one was
Yeah, this is
that.
I said several years ago, but this was like early 2000s. Yeah.
Well, see, wait, Monica, you made me want a sidebar already because I, you know me, I love to watch something random. And I finished this series. It was a quick series. They were only like 30 minutes an episode. It was called The Horrors of Dolores Roach. And it starred Justina Machado. And, I've watched her finding her roots. So she's right in line with Black History Month. So I'm not worried about it. But
Hmm.
anyway, the whole premise of this was this woman takes a charge for her boyfriend and does like 16 years and he has set her up. And I was, then it made me think about the cases, when we, were working together many, many, many years ago early in our friendship, was talking about that young woman that had went to Hampton that President Clinton pardoned.
That's
Uh,
where I wanted to go, Hampton, y'all. We would have been in the same. I would have been in like the same freshman class with, you know what I'm saying?
with
Like,
her. Yeah, and that's crazy because remember she ended up doing a lot of
got
time.
caught
uh
up.
and
I'm sorry,
she
that was
it,
wrong, but
no,
yeah.
and she was very innocent. Remember, she didn't know anything, but she was green. She just knew that this
Caught up.
guy visited her at school, and he had things that she thought were important, and
Hmm.
she thought she was in love. And I mean, yeah, it made her smarter and better afterwards. After
Do you
she
think
got
because she
partner.
wasn't exposed prior to going to college, that's why she was bright eyed and bushy tailed?
Oh, I mean, do you want? Wait, what answer do you want from me, girl? I was like, you choose the answer, and I'll choose the experience. What what answer do you want from
I
me,
don't know. I
Monica?
just feel like some, like, you not expose, like, just immerse your child in that, but you do need to let your child know the good, bad, and the ugly.
No, it was to me. I feel like it was the greedy '90s when
Yeah.
everybody was starting to be ridiculous, like they are. Like today, it's gotten crazy, but it had to start somewhere. And I think
Hmm.
people like guys that were flashy. Okay, well, that's what Auntie Auntie Monika is gonna make you feel better about that. Auntie Mila's gonna keep it real with that. Like, girl,
Misguided, because obviously
don't take no penitentiary chances.
someone didn't break it down for her as far as like uh, uh, an elder, or an uncle.
I don't know, cause Belly was out. Like, I don't know. It'd be different if you never
She
seen
might
New Jack
she might
City,
not.
Belly. She went to Hampton. Let's now wait. Now
We
let's
can't
not.
assume that, girl.
Girl, you just
DJ
said she went
Envy,
to Harvard. Oh, you
DJ
said
Envy went to
Hampton.
Hampton, and look at him. He got caught up in some ish too.
That didn't mean he didn't know better. Okay, you going to Hampton? Girl, stop acting like you said they were going to Harvard. You said
Girl, there's
Hampton.
people, yeah, but there's people who are book smart and street smart. Some people don't have a combination, and that's a lot of people out here that ain't got a combination.
So wait, what you? Okay, well then that's a whole nother sidebar about schools. Because I was like, if you're going to Hampton, I'm gonna assume you know what time it is. No, you can pretend like they don't,
I'm not gonna assume she
but you don't need a
watched Paid in
1400
Full.
SATs to get into the Hampton. No, 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 not into
No,
the Hampton in the seven cities. So I've been to the seven. I've been to Hampton. Them people know what's up, but
girl, but she
we'll
might have
play.
been
We'll
raised in
play.
Prince George's County.
That's in Baltimore, so that's Maryland. I
Yeah, but
really
that don't
expect you to
mean
know
that she
what's up.
be out and about in Baltimore though. Some people don't never go to be more.
That doesn't mean anything. That means you do know what time it is. Okay, so Monica, you trying to act like I know you're trying to give grace, and that's cute, but you're trying to tell me that a man comes up to you and he got all of the flashy sparkle, the bling. He got the nice car and the rims because it's back in the day. He
Mhm.
got the rims and he got a wad of money. He's
Mhm.
rubber band man like Ti.
Mhm.
That's that circa. That's that era.
Mhm.
Wild as the Taliban. Come on,
Mhm.
come on. He got his wad. How you think
I
he make his money?
I got a story to tell.
No,
I'll
how
put
you think he make his money? No, answer that first. How he make his money?
Oh no, that's illegal. But I got a story to tell on that
but
because
hmm.
sh I watched Paid in Full, so I already knew it was up. I met somebody. When was I? 18, 19. They were like 25. Old boy graduated from the UW, played football, worked as a loan officer with a reputable bank up here in Seattle. Had flashy cars with the rims, had his own townhouse, had it all to gir still selling stuff on the side, and had the nerve to ask me if I wanted to sling it in Tacoma. I said, "Oh, you a hell no. You think I'm dumb?"
Well, at least you had enough sense to say that. But the problem with that story, Monica, is you said he at least had a legitimate job to funnel his money. That's
Yeah, that
not
was a
what. No,
front.
yeah, none of the things I just described. Nobody was having no front. Nobody was graduating from nothing. Nobody was pretending to be in a fraternity. No one was pretending to be a legitimate, upstanding citizen. Okay, I'm telling you, just a classic doughboy. Like, what are you talking about? You try to tell me a classic doughboy comes up to you, not going to school, not having no pretend job at no bank, doing nothing, just got money and cars, sleep in and smell like weed, and you don't know what time it is. You don't know what you're doing.
No, I ain't doing that. But
Well,
see,
then thank
I'm
you,
just giving. I'm just assuming maybe she didn't. Cause girl, I
girl.
grew up in
No,
Tacoma.
no, no.
I've been around. I've been around dudes like that. You know what I'm
How
saying? So
did
if
Judge Mathis say it? He said the lack of knowledge of the law is like lack of knowing the law doesn't excuse you from the law. Okay,
oh
so no,
no,
girl,
right.
you know what time it is. You how you make your money, sir? So I know you a doughboy. So if we gonna be out together, because I'm not saying don't date who you want to date, don't love who you want to love,
Mhm.
whatever, whatever. But if you are going to do that, if we are hanging out, I need you to be hanging out like you are going to church. I don't need you to have nothing on you. Because when you're pulled over, are you do you drive? Do you have a legitimate license and proof of insurance? Okay, so then I'm gonna get to roll your car tonight. Then okay, like make it make sense.
Girl,
Like
maybe
don't
she
get caught
thought
up.
she was on an escapade. She just got with him. You know, every time she got with him, she just lost all her marbles. You know what I'm saying? Obviously.
Well, Mila has dated some questionable people at different times on occasion.
Do
And
tell.
I remember side note story, sidebar. Um, yeah, my person was questionable. What I always appreciated about him is he was very proud of the fact that he had his license and his proof of insurance. And that
So he
kind
wasn't
of made
driving
him.
dirty.
No, girl. So that kind of made him a menace to society. I want to admit he was always ready for the police to mess with him because, and this is back in the day, y'all, when like people had Jerry curls still, like Ice Cube from Boys in the
Was
Hood.
this late 90s?
You know it, girl. And so, oh, cause he had his little. I mean, he's the one I had to. I tried once to do, give him that Jerry curl, and that's why I realized cosmetologists go to school for that. That's their testimony. Well, okay, so yeah, so like I said, the end of my
Sorry,
story is,
y'all. Yeah.
no, girl, no, that's fine, honey. I said the end of the story is, yeah, he was obnoxious, but every time we were together, I don't have to know what he did because I have my own business to attend to. But when we were together, he had that license and that proof of insurance, and he was ready. Okay, like he
He have the
got it.
strap. He have the strap too, cause all of them up there, I know they
He
got the
he did have a
straps.
strap, but he
Hmm.
had a legal license. He was a
Right.
licensed strap holder. That's why I said I don't want no dingy person that can't even be legit on some level.
Right.
If we gonna try to have ghetto love, I mean, I'm a good girl. Every good girl thinks they want a bad boy for a hot minute or a second or a moment in
So
time.
ghetto love. Jaheim's coming back out, but anyways.
Put that woman first. Mr.
Yep.
Put that woman. Girl, wait, no. Why you even remind me of that Monika? Because I once had
Oh no,
a.
that was Tyrese. He has a song called Ghetto Love. But anyway, sorry.
Oh, but you
But
made me
I
think
did.
of. But is it Jaheim? Is he really coming out with something?
Yeah, he's back. I saw. I have to send you the thing. His voice sound good. Yeah.
Mr. Put that woman first. There, girl.
He's balding a little bit, but yeah.
Girl, I had somebody ask me to make a car payment once. I said, no, the devil is a liar. I said, you better put your car in your garage. I don't want to do that. Well, you better go back to singing then, if that's what you feel you're called to do, sir. Put that
Ask you to
woman
make a
first,
car payment.
girl, and sang that song before they asked. I said, Jesus. I said, now one thing Auntie ain't been though is Auntie ain't paying for no man out here in the streets. Okay, that's one lie that won't be told on
That's
me.
crazy.
No, never.
I ain't never asked
Wait,
nobody
it
or
was
no
on an
man to
infinity, girl. It
ask.
was on an infinity. It was on an infinity. He was like, I have an infinity. I was like, okay, great. I'm glad you have an infinity. I hope you don't think I'm about to swoon and faint over an infinity. And I was like, a cute something. No, bye, brother. No.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
so you have a Toyota, like, or no? Who's
Mm-mm.
Infinity? Who's Infinity? What's the brand? Because
I
you
thought
know how
it's
the
a yeah. I thought it was. I don't know, girl, but it was by. You know what it was?
Nissan. Basically, you have a Nissan. If you have an Infinity, you have a Nissan because it goes Nissan, Infinity, Toyota, Lexus, Honda, Acura. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, girl. You know what it was? It was I don't want to be bothered. And guess what? Auntie Mila ain't never making no car payments for no man. I
Girl,
don't care if it's
no.
my man. No, you go ahead and make your own. That's against my religion. That feels disgusting to me. There's all kind of
That's
women. I'm not mad if you're one of the women that are like, I'm INDPENDENT. I can make my man's blessings to you, sister. That is not me. No, I don't
no.
have no time for
Mm-mm.
that. But that
That's
feels wrong in
backwards.
my spirit. I still know the statistics for what women make per men, and women are still making pennies to the dollar of what men make, and black women even less. Oh no, 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 mm-mm, no, no.
Mm-mm.
That feels wrong to my soul. So no,
So
Mister, put that
back to
woman
the
first.
to back to the 17 chapters. I guess we're gonna have to make that a weekly segment, or you
What's
have to check
happening?
in because
I want
she
to
gonna
update.
keep going, and it's gonna be on Netflix. Somebody gonna pick it up. BET, somebody will.
Yeah, because I want to know what the scandal is, though. I mean, I'm like, well, yes, he lied about the house, the car, talking to people about his job. But I was like, but what did he really do that was that bad? I was like, girl, he didn't rape, he didn't beat you, he didn't kill you, he
I
didn't give you
mean,
no disease.
did he
No,
she
no.
okay, oh,
So
she got blessed.
blessed. That's why I was like a couple of lies now. I mean, everybody maybe been
It may
lied
be
to in
some
a relationship.
financial, stuff, but you can always fix financial
So
stuff.
stuff, yeah, because I guess the final episode that I watched, he did give her, I believe it was a Nissan Maxima or Altima, Maxima, I think though, and she said her mistake was putting her name on a car that she knew she would need help to make the payment, and I was like, yeah, girl, no, that is a red flag there. So then it's on hiatus for a day or two, but we will have an update. So anyway, girl, that was one of them wild. Like that's why I said the dating and the relationship things that were coming out for Valentine's Day were really, really, really questionable. You sent me something about an Airbnb situation, and you
I
were
got so
mentioning
many
Airbnb.
questions.
Girl, okay, so Monica, tell us what this Airbnb thing you sent me was
You read
about.
more of it. I skimmed through it. I have to
Okay,
be
well, okay.
honest with it. Go ahead and break it down. I got the questions. You go ahead and give the summary.
Okay, so the summary was a man is suing Airbnb and a superhost for allegedly blowing up his spot. And I'm paraphrasing on that. He stayed in a home, an Airbnb home.
In Mississippi.
Yep, and he had let the host know or the owner know, hey, I'm not going to have a party, but since it's a big house, I might have up to 4 or 5 people staying. And the host asked for a complete list of anybody that would be in and out of the house.
So
He
small
gave
get together.
Yeah, he gave the complete list of people who would possibly be staying and people who were in and would be on the property. And it was
Mm-hmm.
less than 9 because
Mm-hmm.
and the host said, okay, I can only I can only my home will only accommodate 8. And he was like, that's fine because not all of them are not everyone is staying with me. If they do, so some point in the night while he's there, he gets a call from the host, and she's like, I'm canceling it. You're going to have to get out tomorrow because I'm getting complaints, noise complaints that people are outside, you know, loitering and making noise. And, it's interesting now kind of reading the whole thing, the way she described, the wording that they used in the text message. The superhost was like, you're out there hooting and hollering. And I said, "Who?" I said, "That's very interesting language to use in this text."
That's
So,
very Southern
yeah,
racist.
yeah, it was very telling. So they were hooting
Yeah.
and hollering outside,
To describe
and
the people
yeah,
that were staying at the
and
Airbnb.
correct. So anyway, they cancel it. The guy ends up staying his full time, but then when he leaves, he does request a night free. He says for like the hassle. Now, I do want to remind you or let you know that the Airbnb home lets the people know we do have cameras on the outside of our property. We don't have them on the inside, supposedly,
Supposedly.
but we do have them on the outside. Okay, so this is going to be relevant in a moment. So that's it. That's it. He goes home. He requests the refund from Airbnb at least for one night. I guess they talked to the host. The host says no, he was having parties. He violated the party no party clause. He says absolutely not. I did not. I did what the host requested. I gave her a list of the people. So the host allegedly creates a fake account, like a fake email account or social media account, takes the screen grab from the security cameras and sends it to this person's wife and says, hey, I like your purse. But it is not the wife in that screen grab. It's the other woman.
Child.
It's the other woman so close to this man's back that it doesn't matter who you are, you would be like, if that was your husband, you would be like, who is that on your back? Like, it looked very, very telling.
You know what the
And
super host did? You want to know what she did that
but
the other girl didn't do from the 17 chapters? She Googled.
yeah, she did her due diligence. She listened to Auntie Monika. Very correct. That's true, girl. That's very true.
She was Googling her ass off. Sorry, y'all.
No, she was because you were like, "How did?" I said, "Monica, I am not the host, but this is what is alleged in the lawsuit." Because they're suing each other. They're going back and forth, and it's getting nasty. So we will see what happens.
I mean, he ain't in the right. I mean, he didn't start off with good intentions. So what's done in the dark comes to light. So yeah, she was wrong the way she did it. But I mean,
I don't know. I say
you
pay the
dropped the
man.
bomb on me.
On
I
me.
mean,
Yeah, pay him. You don't, because for real, don't screen grab and
mhm,
play those kind of relationship games because you don't know anything about my marriage, my covenant or not covenant. You don't know if we have an open relationship or not. But the fact that you're going that low, go
right?
ahead and pay me though. You
Because
need to
that
pay
that
me.
sounds like a personal vendetta, though.
Mm-hmm. It's
But then,
like,
like I told you, I said the wife and the girlfriend could have been in cahoots. So you just never know these days.
girl, you be watching the made for TV movies. I'm like, sometimes the wife and the girlfriend could be in cahoots, and sometimes the super host is just being petty.
That too, but they could the wife and the girlfriend could be in cahoots with the super host, and you know what I'm saying, girl. I don't know.
Well,
Um,
I can't wait. So, kind of keeping with that theory, though, Monica, is it better then to break up with someone? Because this is a question that I heard posed on the internet and posed a lot this week. Is it better to break up with someone in public or in private?
I don't know. When we talked about this, I said I don't think I've ever had anyone the relationships I guess I considered a relationship break up with me in private. Some people they just stop communicating.
Oh yeah, we did discuss that. There was a lot of non-communication.
Uh, yeah, because I'm even thinking about yeah, no, and even with the hell, even with the divorce, yeah, no, that was we didn't have no public. We didn't go out to dinner to discuss the separation and the dissolution of the marriage. That was done at the house.
Mm.
So
It might have should have been done in public. Because that's the reason why. Okay, so I can see why people break up in public, though. If you have an adult relationship, or
or if there's a history of DV, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying, or you just you want witnesses, and it could be DV on both sides. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, male or female or whatever you want to call
true,
yourself.
true, true.
But yeah, it would probably I don't even it probably depends on the person I'm dating or with at the time if we want to do that in public or in private.
I mean,
I mean,
public doesn't.
if we're if we know we're gonna be friends afterwards, I wouldn't mind doing it in public. Let's go out to dinner and just
Girl,
have our last.
you say you trying to have a last supper with the person. Public could be up the park. Okay, you could be up at
The
Seward
park
Park.
too,
Yeah,
yeah.
like let me
But you
take you up
can
to
have
Seward Park and
you
break
can
up
have
with you. Okay, like
dinner at
boom.
the park by the water.
I don't know if I need to break bread with you if we break it up, but we're gonna be cool. I'll return your toothbrush.
Well, I
But
appreciate you
yeah.
making sure that I'm good and full before we
Well, I guess it
dismantle.
depends on who's breaking up with whom, right?
Right.
So if he's if he's breaking up with you and he takes you out to one last dinner, I mean, but if you know it's your last dinner, see, if you don't know it's your last dinner, you might be decent. If I
Hmm.
know it's my last dinner, I might be ordering up everything I wanted to try on that menu.
And they should know that.
That's why I said they're not taking me to no restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh, on our break, on our breakup dinner, we going to the park. All right, I'll see you. And I don't even know if we're walking around the park. We just basically getting
Hmm.
out of our cars. Yeah, this ain't working. You
Mm-mm.
know, nah, it's me,
What
not you.
what
I
about
do that a
you?
lot in the
Private
breakups, huh?
private or public?
Oh, I'm cool with either. I mean, because
Hmm.
I'm not gonna be, crazy. All those days of being spicy are done. So
Right.
I mean, it is what it is. We can break up at your place. That's fine. Let me get my little stuff that I might have around here that made your place better,
Hmm.
and because I'm not gonna put nobody, but I do know someone once, and my homegirl cracked me up with this, and she was very serious and was very true. I was like, "Okay, you guys breaking up?" She was like, "Yeah." I said, "What you doing?" She said, "I am taking the sheets off the bed. I am putting them in the wash machine because he doesn't deserve to smell our essence anymore." I said, "That's the coldest. That's the
Mm-hmm.
coldest. That's the coldest truth I'd have ever heard with a breakup." Okay, so I mean, I've heard some things, but I can handle public or private. That's the thing.
Right.
I've had it either way, and it's fine. I do understand for safety, like you said, if it's a domestic violence, or
Mm-hmm.
if I feel you're not mentally stable, because I've also
Right.
had a situation with someone who was really truly mentally ill, and that's a whole nother episode that we will go over
No,
because
you had mentioned that in a
previous
some
yeah.
previous episodes.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. It's not like, no, it's not like, oh, he crazy, girl. He's so, no. I mean, he needs to be on his meds. His meds are lithium, like real stuff. So
Right.
I'm like, he ain't on it. As his mama called it, he doesn't believe in taking Western medicine. Oh, I said, oh, this isn't a game. This is these are some dating trials. But okay, but so yeah, I mean, it is crazy out here in the street. Okay, so
Let's just say there's some crazy people in the dating streets. I don't want to call all the dating streets crazy. We're not going to manifest that. But there are some crazy people.
I've heard someone say that the dating pool has urine in it, and I agree.
Well, most all swimming pools have urine in them. People is pissing in the pool all the time. People is pissing in the lakes and the ocean. So once you put some chlorine in there, or once they do whatever they need to do at the water company to filter out the water before it gets to your house. So that's
You
what you
said
got to
all the
do.
water is contaminated, Monica.
That's what, but you got to put stuff in place to filter it out and to get brand new water. So you got to do your due diligence in Google.
So basically, when I turn on my faucet, I need to be saying a prayer too.
They get out as much as they can. That's what I could tell you about that based on the
Lord,
classes I took.
that's why you got to stay prayed up. So that's what I'm gonna. Okay, well,
I
moving
would just
right
say I
along.
would just say boil water. Keep
Oh,
boil your water.
okay, well, then, as Monica is known to say, moving right along. Okay, well, so this is still our one of our favorite months. See how I said that, Monica?
Hmm.
One of our favorite months of the year.
Hmm.
And this week was super busy with all the things. Did you do anything for Lunar New Year?
Was that last Friday?
Yeah, Saturday.
Saturday.
Did you have some noodles, bang some pots and pans, set off some fireworks?
Girl, I I don't even remember what I did on Saturday.
I know you didn't care that much about the Super Bowl, only the Usher Raymond Bowl, and we all watched that, and that was enjoyable.
What did I do? Did I sleep in? Did I go walking?
Well, what about Mardi Gras or Fat Tuesday, well, which is the same thing, Galentine's or Valentine's or Ash Wednesday?
Girl, I
Anything?
don't celebrate Mardi Gras unless I'm actually down south in Mobile, Alabama, because celebrating Mardi Gras anywhere except for down south just it's not the same. So no.
Do you remember when Seattle used to try to have Mardi Gras? Anyway, uh,
You just some things just need to stay in their region. You know what I'm saying?
what word up, word up, word up, word up. I want to say it's a travel destination. If you
Right.
don't live in a place that actually has a Mardi Gras, then you go visit a place
Mhm.
that's what they do.
I mean, I spoke to my cousin down there, and I helped her get some, some fits situated for her, goings out for Mardi Gras and Fat
Mhm.
Tuesday. So I did experience it like that, but
As a stylist, I love that. You said as a
right.
stylist, I experienced it. Okay. And it was New York Fashion Week as well.
Yeah, I saw something on the Instagram accounts that I follow. Yeah. Mm.
Okay, so it was a busy week. So with keeping that in mind, all that was happening, and I happened to come across a book that I want to read. And so, it's Black History. We have our Black History moments. And I'm really excited about this book because it is about Black love. And it is by Joy Reid. Some of you are familiar with Joy Reid because of her, I guess, MSNBC television show.
Mm.
But she does have a book called Medgar and Mira Lee, and I am excited and I am starting to read that. And it is about their love. You know, he was one of the first really prominent civil rights activists out of Mississippi who was assassinated by the Klan in his driveway, like in front of his family. And so it is a really interesting story. She never remarried. She stayed very dedicated to her husband, and they met in college, and they said it was love at first sight. And they had a beautiful romance. They were a beautiful couple, and really an example of that Black civil rights love. Because those times, those marriages, you think about Coretta Scott and Martin Luther King Jr. You think about even Malcolm X and Betty Shabazz. People were really
Those
staying in love.
women were holding it down for real.
Yeah, and so while I was kind of researching like Black love, so I was like, oh wow, like that's really hot. And yeah, I don't know if you know the statistic, Monica, but did you realize? Because I think it's a narrative that people are comfortable in America having is that there isn't Black families or that two-parent Black family homes don't exist. And I'm like, that's not really true because most of the people I know, their parents or their parents were actually, married. So
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at the statistic, and this was featured in the Essence a few years ago, um, an article entitled Black Love Through the Ages. And it mentioned that African Americans took great pride in making their unions legal following generations of being unable to do so while enslaved, and
Mm-hmm.
had a higher marriage rate than white Americans starting in 1890. So that's a few years after emancipation, like 30 years after emancipation almost. And they kept the highest rates of marriage from 1890 through about the mid 1960s. And then through the civil rights movement, um, strong marriages and families were also sustained. But I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I thought that was a really interesting fact because, if you believe everything that you watch on TV, you would think that the Black family doesn't exist or that, brothers didn't want to be married to sisters and that it wasn't working. And it was none of those kind of shenanigans at all. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Black families took a real joy in being married and having family. And I do want to say that, that's really interesting. I think people started to get divorced and have different kind of
In the
families.
80s.
Yeah, based off of different social economic things. Because
Yeah.
if you needed assistance, sometimes you weren't able to have a male in the home and receive assistance and different things
Yeah.
like that. So I think there was a lot of state driven, and by state I mean the federal government
Initiatives.
driven
Yeah.
initiative to keep the families like separated, but that wasn't
And the
initially.
different epidemics.
Yeah, girl,
Mm-hmm.
between drugs and poverty and all these other
Crack.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, okay, go ahead for Black love. So I thought about the civil rights couples and those strong marriages that were prevalent in the '60s and in the '70s, and I think people started mirroring what popular culture was doing. Women were feeling more independent as well, and they were able to divorce and get out of
Mm-hmm.
situations that they thought were not healthy or toxic or not to their
Right.
highest good. So anyway,
It's,
that
well,
was
it's
my
kind
Black
of,
love fact.
it's kind of, they always doing these not tests, what are you saying, researching the different, statistics and stuff about our culture, about us, and
Hmm.
marginalizing, like, well, so what about y'all though? We don't want to talk about y'all divorce rates.
Well, well, I
I
mean,
mean, I'm just making a comparison. Just, it is what it is. It's just like whatever.
yeah. And so, wait, but then that also got me thinking about, popular successful Black couples in history or even modern. Like, do you have some favorite Black couples? Like, when I was looking it up, it reminded me of they pointed to George and Joan Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
who created the Black owned beauty companies Johnson products like Ultra Sheen, Afro Sheen, Gentle Treatment, and a host of other brands. They were a Black power couple.
Mm-hmm. One of my new favorite couples, they're not new favorite couples. They've been married for some years, but they've been pursuing their dreams and goals together. Kevin and Melissa Fredericks.
Oh, yep, they have been. And he has a new show on BET. I started watching it today.
Oh, it's out. Yeah,
He
Church.
had Churchy. Yeah, it's cute. I'm very happy for him. I mean, he spent time in the Northwest, so he is one of our favorite sons, and he was there last weekend
Yep.
with his podcast comedy tour.
Mate. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, okay, I like that couple. That's a good. For me, I also got excited about John H. and Eunice Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
because they were the Ebony and Jet magazine creators and owners,
Right.
and the fashion fair, and one time they had a ebony fashion fair like exhibit in Bellevue at one of the museums, and it was really cool looking at all of the styles, the models that had come through and had walked the runways for fashion fair. In case people are not familiar with fashion fair, it was one of the first African American
Cosmetic.
make cosmetic lines. Like
Mm-hmm.
you didn't your foundation was fashion fair, because L'Oreal and Estee Lauder weren't creating
This was before
foundation
Mac,
for
y'all.
you. Yeah, I mean, and Mac is Canadian, so it wasn't even like they
Mm-hmm.
were trying to really fill that need here in the
No.
states. So fashion fair, the Johnsons made sure that our skin was represented when we wanted to play in cosmetics like everyone else. Who doesn't want to look beautiful?
Right.
So okay, so I was like, okay, there's a lots of black love and black couples that are abounding. And what I find is interesting, you look at these black couples and they're like wealth builders. It's like iron sharpens iron. It's they do well together, and that's wonderful. So
They support
anyway,
each other, inspire each other, encourage each other.
yeah, those kind of things. So that
Mhm.
made me feel all the feels. I was like, oh, I do love hearing about black love. It makes me smile. Now, Monica, darling,
Mhm.
what's this business of the week? Kind of let me know what I should be paying attention to.
So, since we are talking about black love, melanated love, about power couples, so our business of the week, staying in the theme of love, dating, and relationships, is none other than Debrina Jackson Gandy, $1,000,000mentor.net. Debrina is a nationally published best-selling author, successful business owner of 20 plus years, national international speaker, transformational success coach, thought leader, outside the box thinker, nationally recognized relationship coach, designer, and producer of life-changing live events, award-winning leader, speaker, wife, mother, former TV show host, also HuffPost contributor, personal mentor to women all across the country, and a creative, juicy, and joyful woman that is living her dreams. And as I mentioned, Debrina is a nationally published best-selling author. And in 2014, she wrote a book called The Love Lies. The Love Lies sets women free from chronic cycles of dissatisfaction and disappointment and offers a proven process to dismantle the lies, heal the mind and heart, and transform the American relationship paradigm forever. This book was published in 2014, and recently it has been republished in paperback. And to celebrate the relaunch of her book in paperback, Debrina has created the National Love Lies Book Club Pods. The Love Lies Book Club Pods will convene March through June of this year. Make sure that you order the new paperback version of The Love Lies. There will be a link below in the show notes. If you have any additional questions, please email us.
Well, Monica, that was really fascinating about Debrina. So I hope everyone, has a chance to look into all the wonderful things that she has going on. Also she has great books. Since we were talking about books, I mean, I'm excited about the book I'm reading, be about Medgar Evers and Mary Lee, and of course, Debrina has some really good self help, self healing ones. So Yeah, that's a good time. Is there anything else we are forgetting to let the family know? Thank you guys for hanging with us. I know it felt crazy, but you know what? Sometimes relationships and love, those episodes get kind of crazy. And this was the first one of the year that we've actually done. So thank you for thank you for hanging with us. Monica, is there anything else that we are forgetting to tell the people?
No, be kind.
Stay safe.
Peace.
Bye. Monica, where can they find us at again?
You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartMedia, Amazon, and Google Play. And our social media platforms are Instagram, Twitter, which is known as X, and also TikTok.
All right. Remember to call your aunties and your girlfriends and say hi.
Hey.
Bye.